Everyone that flies regularly has stories about getting through security at the airport. Today, I'm going to share with you mine. A couple years ago, my husband and I took our 4 kids, under the age of 10, to California and Disneyland. Now, while most parents that take their kids to Disneyland are more concerned about Disneyland itself, the rides, the lines, seeing all they can see, I was most nervous about getting my family of 6 through security at LAX. We had a great experience when we left from Billings, Montana, but we discovered that our car seat we were bringing for our 1-year-old was too big to fit through the security scanners that the carry-ons go through. So I knew this going into LAX. We arrived extra early and did our best to shuffle our big family, through security. We were helping our children each load their own carry-ons on, and when it came time to get the car seat on, I tried to grab the attention of one of the TSA officers. Now, these officers in LAX do not interact with you like they do in small airports. They were treating us more like cattle, shuffling us through. Well, I finally got her attention, and I told her that the car seat would not fit through the security scanner. She insisted multiple times that I do it anyway, and so I did. I stuck it on the belt, and it caused quite a ruckus as it was banging repeatedly against the edges of the scanner. This made her quite mad. They took the car seat to the side to be screened, and she approached me, and without ever looking me in the face, told me she needed to see my palms. My palms? She said, yes, because you're all strapped up. At the time, I had my 1-year-old in a baby carrier on my chest. I need to test your palms for bomb residue, she said. All right, well, apparently I'm giving off a terrorist vibe I didn't know I had. Needless to say, my palms were clean. The TSA agency is not above reproach. On November 1st, 2013, Gerardo Hernandez was killed in the line of duty as a TSA screener at LAX. His death has caused quite a hot debate over whether or not TSA agents should be armed. It is important to note that Mr. Hernandez is the only officer that has ever died in the line of duty since the TSA was formed 2 months after the attacks of 9/11. TSA agents should not be armed. By doing this, we are effectively taking the job of a screener and turning that into the job of a peace officer. This change is not only extremely cost prohibitive, but it is not necessary. TSA officers their job is to screen luggage and people for possible contraband, such as guns, explosives, knives, etc., to verify and make sure that they do not pass checkpoints and get onto airplanes. By training these police officers, or these screeners, to be gun carriers is more than just teaching them to shoot a gun. The responsibility is much greater than that, and they would effectively need to be trained as police officers. And this training would not be cheap. According to pjmedia.org, the TSA has a congressionally mandated force of 43,000 employees. So by adding a training that, according to policechiefmagazine.org, is anywhere from $11,000 to $36,000 to train a police officer, to these 43,000 employees, that would be an increase of $198 million just for the employees that are already trained as screeners and are needing to be firearm certified to be peace officers. But this cost isn't just the only cost. TSA is broken and their employees are leaving in droves. They have an unheard of turnover rate. PJmedia.org claims that in only 6 short years, 67,000 employees have left. That's a 1.5% turnover rate. And it cost TSA $1 billion just to train them for screeners. Now imagine if they had been trained to be police officers as well. This cost would be astronomical, and it would be you and I that would have to cover that cost. But it is a cost that is not necessary. Every airport has round-the-clock police presence, men and women that are trained to be police officers and to carry a firearm. And the TSA doesn't even recommend that their own agents carry guns. They issued a report following the shooting in November of 2013. And they recommend that armed personnel be present at airport checkpoints during peak hours of passenger traffic. And the airports could tailor that security to their need. So they would not change the job description of the screener. They would add the police officers that are already trained to carry guns during the times that they are needed the most. They also suggest that it be at ticket counters and other parts of the airport that they are noticing needs the extra security. And the most important thing from this report is that they themselves don't think that they need to be armed because of jurisdiction issues. Airport police officers, not TSA officers, should provide the armed security at checkpoints. We recognize there's a need for security at airports. The TSA recognizes there's a need for security at airports. No one is arguing for less security, but we are arguing for appropriate security. By arming 43,000 more employees, we are not making ourselves more safe. We already have a police presence that's armed. Let's just use it to better our security at our airports. We all want to feel safe when we fly. After the tragic attacks of 9/11, I personally am more comfortable knowing that there won't be a bomb on the airplane when I fly with my family. However, it is important that we are reasonable when we seek this security. Arming TSA officers is not only cost prohibitive, but it also not necessary.